thank you so much for agreeing to have this interview with us. But before we start, would it be okay to just introduce yourself?
I'm India Dina. So I've been working in early autism project Malaysia for 7 years now. Right now I'm the supervisor at the UP Hub subsidized unit.
Thank you so much. Could you just maybe explain more about what the organization is about?
So here at Hub is actually our subsidized unit. We have a main branch in Bangsar, which is the EAP Malaysia. The subsidized unit is part of our non-profit initiative, which is under the Hope Project, which is a non-profit arm of our main company.
So then, how does this center differ from the main branch?
So at the subsidized unit, the therapists are interns from Hub University. By doing that, we actually managed to cut down the fees by half compared to the full paying program. And we only have one supervisor here, and the kids come to the center, so it's not home based.
Is the main branch home based?
Mainly home based.
Oh, okay. So that will be more expensive.
Yeah, so they will need to pay either half day or full day. The half day will be double the fees from here, and they will pay travel fees. At the subsidized unit also, the parents pay however much they can, so it's not even half the fee, it's however much they can, and we crowdfund the rest.
So in this center specifically, would you say there's a hierarchy system in terms of the structure of your staff members? Besides just supervisor and intern?
Yeah, so there's the interns, and then there's me, the supervisor. There's also a senior supervisor, which is Tiffany right now. So she's overseeing the entire whole project, and also she comes in once every 2 months here to basically to supervise my programming for the kids. I'll be on the right track, and am I like coaching the team right?
So even as a supervisor, you would say that you still have like an evaluation.
Yes. So that is part of the reason why ABA therapy is always very expensive. It's the multi-level supervision.
So within this center, or we'll start with the organization first. Are there different departments in the main branch?
This particular center, there is no departments. We had a bit of departmental roles when there is permanent interns during the internship period, the May to August period. So some of the students, because they're only running therapy half day, the other half day are doing admin work, and also some of them are assigned to do like ECAs and other like, activities.
Could you elaborate a little bit on what ECAs are?
ECAs are extracurricular activities. So every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, we have different teams each week. So on Monday it's normally like movement Mondays, and Wednesday are water Wednesday, and Fridays are friendship Fridays. So let's say the team of the week is animals. So on Monday they will do an animal theme music, and on Wednesday they will do maybe a pool of like jelly balls and with animals in it, and on Friday they will do some arts and craft that they need to do together. Like the craft will like come into like a big piece of art.
So you mentioned that most of the interns come from health. Is there any other prerequisite or requirement before hiring?
Yep, all the interns come from health because this is under the Hub University. Prerequisite, we don't have any prerequisite, we do have an interview. So based on your interview, there are some criteria that we look for. Reliability, punctuality. Yeah.
So in terms of academics, is there any specific?
No, so we don't really look at the academics.
So anyone with any degree could join?
We haven't had any people other than psychology students.
Makes sense. Yeah. since most of them are interns, if let's say a fresh graduate from psychology wants to work at this center specifically, what do you think they will be able to gain and bring when they move on to other jobs?
Okay. We actually have one intern who already graduated and is doing basically part-time work here. They get to experience because it's not an easy field to be in, so you get to experience working with children with autism, ABA therapy. So there's different types of therapy for children with autism. Yeah, you can learn about ABA therapy. You learn some level of professionalism because you have like bi-weekly team meetings, so you meet the parents, you learn how to communicate with clients. You do prepare your learning materials, and essentially just arriving on time, like professional conduct. Yeah.
So in terms of the learning material, is it provided by the center or do the interns and staff come up with it?
The materials are provided, but some of it you need to like print out yourself, let me to like edit and cut and eliminate yourself.
So then, speaking about like the interns and the staff members here, how would they, I guess, function on a day-to-day basis? How would the week look like?
Yeah. So normally once after the interview, we will have like a trial period to see which kids are more suitable to your personality in a way. After that, then you will be assigned to a certain child, and then your schedule is set for the rest of the term. From day to day you come in, and then the kids have online data sheet, so you can refer to the data sheet and prepare what you want to target for the programs today. After once you have prepared that, you go to your station and prepare what materials you want to use for your table time, for your activities, for your play time, how you want to target activities. Yeah. And then the kids go on for 45 minutes, play table, and then they have 15 minutes break where they just like have some snack, wind down, go toilet, and then they go on for another 45 minutes, and then 15-minute breaks, and another 45 minutes before they go home.
So when matching kids to the staff's personalities, would you say, or are you able to disclose if has any issues arose from that? Maybe a mismatch, perhaps?
There is. So normally like after a week or two, like sometimes it's too difficult. You see like the interns are not feeling successful, the kids are not engaging. So we will normally do a swap. Okay, if you really need it. So we want to also empower you to power through like the child, follow through the strategies. But also if it's just unsuccessful for like everyone, then we will do a swap.
I guess at the end of the day, the mission is to help the kids. So in preparing all these materials, I'm sure there's a lot to prepare and it's not exactly cheap. So where does the organization gain their funds or donations from?
The materials, the toys are 100% donated. So we had a partnership with Sunray Group. So they donated 100 toy boxes to us, which we still have some. So everyone that applied for the subsidized unit will get one as we do the screening, and we also open a few for the subsidized unit. But the rest are actually donated. Majority of the toys here are just donated from the general public.
Oh, that's very nice to know.
Yeah.
Has this particular center worked with any other centers besides Sunway? Maybe like a collaboration with any other places?
We have worked with a number of non-profit organizations. Yeah. I'm not sure if I'm able to disclose it.
Alright, no, that's fine. So since most of the funding and donations come from the public, I guess one of the big questions now since COVID was how did MCO affect all of this?
Yeah, so actually we only started in 2024, so we were not affected by the COVID.
Next thing, you've touched on it a little bit before, but like, what are some of like the activities that the center conducts?
Activities, it really depends on, because it's a one-to-one program, it depends on the child. The activities, I would say, it really differs from day-to-day. There's no fixed activities. It's based on your creativity. You do obstacle courses, you do arts and crafts, you do sensory play, you do music time.
Would it I guess would some of it come from like the center itself, or would the interns be coming up with what activities the kids would do?
The materials are provided by the center, but yeah, the interns come up with the ideas.
So the programs are quite child specific in that sense.
Yeah, so each child has their own specific programs.
So out of like these different activities that the center has held, which would you say has been most effective, or you've been able to see more of a change in?
So the Hope project itself has done a number of support to different centers. This is our first time leading a non-profit center. I say this is the most, it has its own challenges, but it's the most effective on our end. Like, we don't have to go through a lot of red tapes. So we bring our culture here, and so we are able to focus on the clinical and the child's progress.
So it's more of a personal touch to it.
Yes, and also the clinical. So we are able to fully bring in our clinical expertise to create the center.
I think you touched on it a little bit as well, was the troubles that or issues that the company faces. So in terms of the staff, in terms of like their daily day-to-day activities, what would you say are some of the issues they usually run into, whether it's themselves or the program?
The interns or like on my the company.
I will start with the interns.
The interns, yeah. Behaviors, I guess. The kids can be challenging. Children with autism is no different. Some are more challenging than the others. It can get difficult to cope when the children are aggressive or children are like crying non-stop. Yeah, I think just dealing, like basically regulating yourself to cope with all of that might be the hardest challenge.
And for yourself, what would you say?
So definitely scheduling, because like you guys have your classes.
Yes.
I have the classes too. Yeah.
So in this center specifically, how does everyone help each other to deal with these things?
For like behaviors, actually we encourage people to just reach out. Like I'm here every day. Just reach out if you need help. Just wave to me or text me, then I'll be there. You can take some time to like for a breather. If there's someone there, you can like talk to them, or they can take care of the child while you talk to me. Like it's important to talk about it. You cannot internalize the behavior. You cannot internalize the issues, because the child might be calling you names, and they might not understand the weight of it. But if you internalize those names, then it's going to get difficult, more and more difficult.
So I guess it could change the way they see the kid as well.
And then you start to drag yourself every time you come in. People actually start getting sick. Once scheduling. Yeah.
So how does the team compete?
So I also have my line of support, and my senior supervisor, we also have like weekly catch-ups to go through the kids program, and if needed, then mental support.
So earlier you touched on like ABA is here, some of the psychological concepts and activities that you all do. Could you maybe explain a bit more, or maybe is there any other psychological concepts or frameworks that this organization uses?
It's mainly ABM. So under ABA, the three main criteria is like breaking skills down, providing sufficient, pairing it with reinforcement, and providing sufficient practice. So like in everything that we do, let's say when you first come in as an intern, I will break skills down for you, so you don't have to suddenly run for 3 hours of session. You just observe and join the playtime. So those are also ABA, but applying to the interns training. And I guess your email would be your reinforcement. and the practice. Yeah, so we always encourage like more than one slot per week. So it helps you to build rapport more with the kids and to build your fluency.
So, would you say by introducing the interns during playtime, it eases the kid as well to get accustomed and get to know the new
very good.
intern?
Yeah. So it's a positive association. So you build positive on it. So you don't come in and ask them to sit down, ask them to do this. Then the moment they see you, you just this person is full of demand.
Yes.
Yeah. So you come in during playtime, so this person is full of fun. So yeah, once they build a rapport with you, then only you start doing the table times.
Would you say I find that very interesting, like, positive association, but over time, I guess the interns would have to take on the instructional role, like don't do this, do this. How does that affect the child's perception? Because now they have to switch from your fun to I'm telling you what to do.
Yeah. They also have reward time at table. So once they get to table, they have their physical rewards. So they have their toys. So it is some fun factor, just a little bit awkward and then fun system.
So it's okay, just last till then you'll have your
Yes.
toy. And since this is a fairly new organization, of the center specifically, are there any activities in the near future that you all are planning or hoping to conduct?
We are hoping to penetrate the government, the training of the care teachers. Nothing solid yet, but yeah, that is the dream for like the whole Malaysia to be able to receive quality ABA therapy.
I think it's important because even we learn also, it's not just the therapists, it's also the people around, like their school teachers, their parents. I guess, has the center had any programs to teach the parents on how to?
So the parents come in once every 2 weeks for a meeting. So they will observe how the session is run for 45 minutes, and then another 45 minutes, and then like around we have some discussion time, like whatever problems they are facing at home or in school for kids that are going to school, and then we teach them the strategy, and they will do like 10 minutes of like role play, and then try to do those strategies with the child.
Have you heard any positive feedback from the parents?
There is like most parents say like they are more cooperative, they are able to speak more. So, yeah.
That's good. So, is it, as of now, there's not much result in what you plan to do in the future in terms of asking the government to help teach teachers. So, I guess as students conducting this interview and hoping to bring this knowledge to our course mates, is there anything we could do or our classmates can do to help this organization in achieving that goal?
Well, the obvious one will be the crowdfunding. And I say if you know anyone with connections, please send them my way. And also, I think awareness, spreading awareness is very important. So part of like our mission every year during our Autism Awareness Month, which is in April, 2nd April, is to spread awareness. So the earlier, like getting intensive early intervention is very important. I think that is not yet established in Malaysia. We still get children who comes in at 7 years old, like 6 years old, who is like at the end of their golden windows, and it is you just like it's such a dream. Like if only once they detect a delay and they go straight into intensive therapy, it makes such a difference for the kids.
So what would you say is the best window in terms of age? Because you said 7 is early.
So the golden window normally we call it the golden window, is at 3 to 6 years old. So the age where they are much more teachable.
During Autism Awareness, what sort of activities does the center do to promote?
We have school campaigns, which is we go into schools and raise awareness about autism, and also teaching. Normally our campaign is called Kindness Start With Me. So like just to teach kids like maybe some of your friends are a little bit different, but that's okay, we can still be kind. We have awareness have training programs for companies who wants to hire person with disabilities or who already have person with disabilities and wants to like improve their services. Yeah, I think basically any calls we get, we try to fit to their needs.
So what sort of schools do you usually reach out to? Private, government, university?
Mostly private schools reach out to us, international schools. We've done some universities, but it's mostly basically schools that our kids go to. So like some of the higher functioning autism children, they go to mainstream school.
Yeah.
Yeah, and normally those schools like reach out to us to give the talk.
That's good. I guess, like going back on the question of like what we can do, I guess most like specific question would be like what psychologists can do to help your
As of now, if you're a clinical psychologist and you're diagnosing someone with autism, tell them to get therapy immediately. I think that's the most important thing. Yeah, and the right intensive therapy. I would say like EBA therapy has been proven by research many times that of like its effectiveness. Like yeah, if you start intensive therapy early, it makes a whole lot of difference.
because we also learn how important intervention can be. I think that's all the questions we have. Maybe just before the end, you can say what you want for the camera in terms of to promote this organization.
Okay. Yeah, we also have our Autism at Home on YouTube. Please subscribe and also watch our videos if you want to know more about autism.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
I thought I was nervous, but you the one.
Yes, yes. Some of these questions were spotty.